What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is going to be another one of my monthly or so yap sessions, and today I was really wanting to talk about the state of gaming, guys. Like, as you know, the AAA price tag has gone up another $10 when they recently upped it to $70 only a couple of years ago. They're already upping it 10 more dollars to $80 for a AAA title, man. And to me, that's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Now, $70 was already quite expensive for the average person, especially with the state of, the economy of the United States right now. Not exactly super great. A lot of things are getting more and more expensive, and a lot of people are not going to be able to afford to pay 70 and now $80 for a full price game. So what that means to me, I think, is that a lot of indie games, the 30, $45 games are going to be a lot more successful now because no one's going to want to take a risk on a AAA title game that's going to flop or isn't going to get support after a year or even just a few months. The game will flop, not have any more support, and you will lose access to the game, which is crazy to me that you're paying $80 for a game that you technically don't even know, since purchasing discs with games is pretty much taboo now. Like, I can't remember the last time I went to the GameStop. Plus, I play on a PC that doesn't even have a disc drive, so buying a disc is pretty much useless right now. So having physical copies of games isn't really the norm anymore, and you can lose access to your game fucking whenever, man. Like, you don't even own the game. You pay money for the game that you don't even own. Ubisoft's CEO or whatever has even came out and said that people need to get used to not owning their game, which I think is completely ridiculous. You already don't even own the music that's in the fucking game. I can't remember I couldn't tell you how many fucking videos of mine have gotten copyright claimed because I've had copyrighted music in my game when that used to not even be a problem. DMCA is such a terrible fucking thing. I wish that I had gotten to the YouTube sooner so I could actually have access to play any music I want. I feel like that'd be very exciting. I remember watching one of my friend's streams back when he used to live stream, and he'd be able to play any music he wanted, and not have to have risk his stream getting muted or even taken down because of copyrighted music. Absolutely crazy. I hate the way the state of like content creating, not only just content creating, but just mainly gaming in general, man, is just completely just is getting ruined. Like, not everyone's gonna be able to afford these $70 and $80 games, like I said. Like, and it's not even worth it. A lot of these AAA companies and stuff, they're flopping on their games, and studios are getting shut down. Games are getting, they're giving up on games like in a few months' time. They release a broken game, realize that they're not making money off of it, and just immediately shut it down and you just paid $70 on a game that you only played for a few months. And even when you're playing it, it wasn't very popular, especially if it's like an online game, MMO, and it flops and you have, no one to play with anymore, or you lose access to the game because the servers get shut down, and then you spent $70 on fucking nothing if they don't decide to refund you. Absolutely ridiculous. Shame on Nintendo for putting out that that $80 fucking price tag on their fucking games. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the channel, but I cannot stand Nintendo. I think their business practices are so out of touch, and because of that, I have never bought a Nintendo product with my own money. Now, I think the last Nintendo console I played on was the Wii. I played on the GameCube as well and the Nintendo 64. But since the Nintendo Wii, I've never cared about buying or using a Nintendo product. I think their business practices are ridiculous. Every game, they never put games on sale. The games are always going to be 60, 70, and $80. Even the games that are multiple years old, like I'm pretty sure they're selling Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch 2 for like $70 when the game is like 40 $50 on fucking Steam. I don't know. But Steam always has sales. Nintendo never has sales. Never. They never lower the prices of their products. And I'm sure the game probably is going to run like shit on the Nintendo Switch 2, but I don't really know, and I don't really care because I don't play Nintendo products. And another thing is, I don't like mobile gaming. Like, I don't care for like the handhelds and shit, dude. Like, I'm a lot bigger fan of like home consoles and shit like that. That's why I only play on PC. I'd rather just have the better performance while sitting in a fucking at home than having a significantly less performance and being able to play on the go or whatever. Because to be honest, most of the time when I'm on the go or whatever, and I have the ability to whip out like something, I'll just fucking like watch YouTube or a movie or something. Like I don't care that much about mobile gaming. I've owned a Nintendo DS, I've owned a PSP, barely played them motherfuckers because I don't like that style of game, man. I'd rather have the better performance, like I said. But yeah, I think and not only has the prices of video games have gone up, but the price of, I know the Xbox Series S and X has also gone up. So now it's going to be harder to buy a new console. I'm pretty sure I bought mine for like $250. I think they're over $300 now for a Series S, and mine was only $250 when I bought it a year ago, which is actually crazy. Apparently, the excuse is it's the tariffs, which, I mean, I guess the tariffs could cause the prices of things like that to go up, but video games, I don't really understand how that affects video games. Maybe consoles, but video games, like it's a digital game, and I understand that the cost of developing video games is only going to go up, uh, as we continue, as games get more and more ambitious on what they want to make, which is fine. You see a lot of these companies and stuff release games, and like indie games just absolutely go success, are really successful. You look at Baldur's Gate 3, you know, they shadow dropped the fucking Oblivion remastered, and that thing just absolutely popped off. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like Expedition 33, like these games are indie games, except for Oblivion remastered, obviously, but it's just a remaster. But you see these games that are like just indie games just absolutely outsell these AAA titles and last so much longer because people put a lot more passion into it and not really focusing on how much the game is going to cost. They're going to find the most cost-effective way to get out a passion project, and those games are a lot more successful than these AAA titles that die within 6 months, looking like Concord and shit like that. Like, and like even in the past, Battlefield 2042 just wasn't very successful. They gave up on that rather quickly. Um, a few battle royales, I think, but I mean not really AAA. But off the top of my head, I can only think of a couple. But these games, they ask for a $70 full price tag on it, and then they just flop, and then you're just one set. They don't update the game anymore, and they get ran over by like fucking hackers and shit, and that's it, man. And it just becomes unplayable, or you just lose access to the game, like I said before, and because they shut the servers down and whatever, or you can't play because you don't have internet access at the time and stuff. It's just absolutely wild to me, man. The state of gaming has been. I feel like it's going to be more of an indie game focused, market these days, man. Like I honestly think that the indie games are going to pop off. AAA games are going to falter, man, because no one's going to want to pay $80 for a game that they don't know is going to be successful. They're going to wait until the fucking, the content creators and the people who can afford to play the games, play it, and then they're going to see if it's going to be worth it, and if it's not, then they're just not going to buy it anymore, man. This is how it is. No one's want to take a risk on a game that they don't know if it's going to shut down in 3 or 4 months, and they had to pay $80 for it, and that's it. I think that's a very valid thing, man. And I feel like the passion for making video games nowadays, especially in this decade, has just been really lackluster, man. Like there are a lot of hitters. I think of Elden Ring, for example. Expedition 33 was a really good hit. Kingdom Come Deliverance, really good game. The Doom games are still really good, but there are just some games, man, that just they don't hit anymore, man. And I think that's a shame. Like you think of the Call of Duties, I don't really play Call of Duty anymore. I feel like they're all the same, and I think the loop is not good. If it wasn't on Game Pass, I'd never play it. Sports games have been going on decline for a while now, but even 2K now is just absolute poop. And MLB The Show, I've heard, is not very good anymore either. It's just I don't know, man. It's a shame. They're asking these big price points for games that release in a broken state. I mean, the one of the CEOs or whatever for what now it's Halo Studios. Before that, it was 343 Industries. Literally said that when the game releases, it's the starting line. I feel like that's a terrible mindset. That like a game is unfinished at launch. I think that's a terrible, terrible mindset to me, because that just shows that you're not making sure the game is completely polished when you release it, and you have to patch up all the mistakes. I feel like do fucking developers even game test their games anymore, man? Like, come on, bro. I'm so sick of seeing these games, man, that are released in their shit, man. They're actually like shit. So I don't know. I just want to do a little bit of Yap session, guys. I don't like to say how gaming is going these days, man. Um, so many games are flopping. So many studios are getting shut down. So many employees are getting laid off. It's just actually insane. Like I said, I don't really play triple game. Jeez, I don't really play triple A games anymore because I don't know if paying 70 $80 on a game is even worth it anymore when the developers just give up the game, a few months after. Like, but yeah, I just don't think that the paying 70 bucks 80, and especially now $80 for a game is going to be worth it anymore, man. The game's going to come out swinging. I've heard rumors that GTA 6, a few people are saying that GTA 6 might even be 90 or $100, which wouldn't fucking surprise me in the least. At least Rockstar usually hits with their games, even though I don't think that. I feel like GTA 6 might not reach the impossible hype that it has. I've rarely seen a game with this much hype, make the expectations that people have set on it. Cyberpunk 2077 is a big example of that, where people had a lot of hype for it and it just did not meet it. But I have faith in Rockstar that they'll release a really good product. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play it till a year after the game comes out because I'm not buying it twice. Especially if it's going to be 80, 90, even 100 fucking dollars for the base game. Yeah, absolutely fucking not. I'm not paying $100 for a game twice. Like, I do not fucking give a shit. Anyway, yeah, I hope it's a success. I hope gaming gets better in the near future. It seems pretty fucking bleak right now. There are a few bangers, but the AAA, specifically the AAA space, has just not been any good, man. Just been a lot of shitters. Ubisoft is gone bankrupt because of how many other games they released that flop. And yeah, I think the state of gaming could use some improvement. But what do y'all think in the comments? Do y'all think that that gaming industry is going in a good direction or a bad one? And yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, I just want to let my opinion on a few things today and have a little bit of a yap session like I typically do. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.